Hello, Popcorn Junkies. Here we are reacting to a teaser trailer from the infamous David Fincher. Now, I know there are an enormous number of David Fincher fans out there, huge advocates for the director, and I think perhaps his sort of single most kind of, hugely reputational, kind of impactful, kind of cult status movie that kind of most people have at some point said, what did you think of Fight Club? Did you like Fight Club? Was Fight Club. He directed Fight Club, which was that arresting film starring Brad Pitt, and it was visceral, and Ed Norton and Helena Bonham Carter as well in there too. It was visceral, it was vicious, it was dark, it was twisted, it was brilliantly shot. There's a dark colour palette that he uses. His blacks are black. There's a kind of glow. There's not neon, but there's a sort of shiny dark noir. He's a sort of, I consider him a sort of modern day noir filmmaker, film noir. But the film that I really kind of, he sang off the screen, and I went to see it. I think it was one of the first films I ever went to see on my own. It was back in '97 when I saw The Game, and that starred Michael Douglas. And the brilliant thing about that was, I can't remember the exact details of the plot, but Michael Douglas was essentially bought this kind of, what do you buy the uber rich? You buy them the opportunity to play a game, which is in a real life. He doesn't know when something's going to happen to him. He doesn't know if it's real. He could be kidnapped. Something awful could happen. It involved Sean Penn, who I believe was his brother in it, and things just go dramatically wrong. And I remember being absolutely captivated by it. It was full of twists. You didn't know what was coming next. Michael Douglas was sensational in it. Again, brilliantly shot, noirish, kind of psychological, paranoiac kind of film, in which where does the game start? When does real life start? Who's fibbing? Who's performing? Who's playing? It was a really nifty film. Other films en route by David Fincher include The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. I think none of us will ever really forget. Was it A Baby with Brad Pitt's face on it? I seem to remember. He also did The Social Network, which of course was about the founding of Facebook. I thought it was a cracking film. I thought it was really good. Jesse Eisenberg, what have you. He did The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Now, my moment where I thought, I don't know if I like David Fincher anymore, was Gone Girl. Now, I know I'm on my own with this. A lot of people are huge fans of Gone Girl. It was based on a famous book, wasn't it? By Gillian Flynn, that's right. Me and Andy went to see it at the Brixton Academy, and we actively got up after 20 minutes and walked out. I thought it was so achingly bad, and it wasn't necessarily in the way it looked or the story. Rosamund Pike didn't do it for me. Ben Affleck wasn't doing it for me. It just didn't do it for me. It all felt a little bit cliched and a bit hackneyed. He then went on to make Mank, which was the film about Joseph Mankiewicz, the screenwriter, which was a kind of art house, authorial, sort of, auteur piece that he did for Netflix, and that was back in 2020. But now, what is he giving us now? He's giving us The Killer. So which, if you're a David Fincher fan, which of his films, and obviously I've kind of glossed over a couple there, like Panic Room and Zodiac, which I don't know as well. Seven, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Which David Fincher gets you by the short and curlies and shakes you about and throws you all over the place? Because a lot of people really like it. And I think I like him, but then I don't know if I find something lacking when it comes to The Killer Punch. This film is called The Killer. This is a film that stars rather brilliantly, and I love him. It's Michael Fassbender, and I haven't seen him do too much. I've seen him a lot on Graham Norton, but I've not seen him in a film all of his own. And he is a sensational actor, he really is. So Michael Fassbender's in this. This is based on a French graphic novel, or series of graphic novels, graphic books, comic books, if you like. It pivots around an assassin character who gets sort of embroiled in a manhunt. So it's very much parked within the thriller genre. I'm presuming it's going to be psychological in its, or psychoanalytical in its implications. I think what makes this slightly different is that Michael Fassbender, as the killer, experiences some kind of existential doubt or conflict about who he is, why he does what he does, and what he's doing, and all that kind of stuff. And as soon as you add that in, for me, thrillers don't give me much. But as soon as you give any other layer, whether it be horror or sci-fi or intellectual or existential or something, suddenly you've got me, and I could be interested. I really like the poster for this. It's appearing on Netflix. It's coming to Netflix later in the year. It also stars Tilda Swinton, and it's also going to have its world premiere at the Venice Film Festival this September. So, without further ado, I think let's check out The Killer, the new film by David Fincher. This is a teaser trailer, so it's going to be brief, but hey, sometimes short and sweet is better than long and floppy, I find.
Stick to your plan. anticipate. Don't improvise. Stick to your plan. Never yield an advantage. Stick to the plan. Fight only the battle you're paid to fight. Ask yourself, what's in it for me? Stick to the plan. Empathy, weakness, and vulnerability. This is what it takes if you want to succeed. Simple.
Stick to the plan. Now, at first I thought that wasn't working. I was thinking, this is a bit straightforward. And then you began to realise it's the mantra. And this, let's not forget, is a teaser trailer. It is a teaser trailer. So it hasn't revealed what I might have revealed already, which is that this is an assassin going through an existential crisis, not entirely dissimilarly to Barry, the Amazon Prime series, starring Bill Maher, in which a killer, contract killer, decides he wants to change his career and become an actor. This isn't necessarily about that, but this is clearly stick to the plan. The extent to which he has to control himself, engage in OCD kind of, behavior. I love that the motif of his heart rate. Was it his heart rate? I think it was his heart rate on his Fitbit or on his smartwatch, getting his heart rate down to the right beat in order to execute the bullet, and firing the bullet and hitting his target. And so you've got clearly the repetitious nature of his job, of what it is that he does. And so my feeling is that when we get to the teaser, to the trailer, we're going to get a sense of how, okay, it's all well and good. You can be OCD, you can be very meticulous, you can put things in just such a way. And he's a good actor for like Michael Fassbender. He has that aspect about him where you feel, I don't know, I'm not suggesting anything here, but you feel he could be quite particular as a man. And so bringing that into play, that he's got to be meticulous in orchestrating what he does, I'm intrigued to see where the breakdown happens and how the breakdown happens and in what way that plays out. Nicely shot, sped up like that, a sort of speeding up psychological kind of, pile up happening in the head of the character. So for me, a successful teaser trailer. Did it grab you?